Okay, I'm going to demonstrate how to fill an Infinity pump bag and load the pump into the super mini backpack. So we have our pump bag here. The first thing that I like to do is, if you don't separate the back of the bag from the spout here, the formula will fill up the spout and then spill. So what I like to do is I kind of pull it apart like this and then open the bag so that it's not going to get blocked down there. And I have my neocate here that's already been mixed up. So I just pour that in here. And normally I like to refrigerate it overnight. I just mixed this up. But it seems to run through the pump bag a little bit easier if it's been refrigerated for a few hours before you use it. Okay, so now that I've got it filled, I'm going to try and get as much air out of the bag as I can before I close it. So I just kind of squeeze all these little air bubbles out. Sometimes it helps if you flick it a little bit. I squeeze all the air bubbles out and get the formula up as high as I can in there without it spilling. So about a centimeter below the rim. And then I put the lid on. I twist it on tight, and then you check around this gap right here and make sure that this gap is even all the way around. If it's not and any of these little tabs are sticking up a little bit higher, then you just push them down and it'll snap them into place so it won't leak. Okay, then we take off this cap. And you turn the bag upside down. And you try and get all the air into this little area right here. And again, sometimes it helps, there will be little air bubbles all over, and it helps to kind of flick it, and the air bubbles will come up to the top. And then what you want to do is you take this little teal cartridge here, and if you look right here, there's a little raindrop symbol. So I hold that in this hand, and then with this hand I make sure that the air bubble is at the top, right where the tubing leaves the bag, and squeeze this and just kind of get all the air out. So I'm squeezing with this hand and working all the air bubbles into the tubing with the other hand. And then once the air bubbles are all out, then you just kind of keep squeezing the formula until it's all the way through. Okay, so now the line is primed. Now there's a few little air bubbles in here. If it's just a couple like this, I don't usually bother getting them out. If it's more than that, then you'll want to keep priming it through until all the air bubbles are out. So the first thing I do when I put the pump into the backpack is I put the pump into the backpack. And then I like to use these little rectangle ice packs. So I put that into the little mesh pocket. Then I put the formula bag in, and I don't wrap it all the way around like that. It doesn't work very well for me. So I prefer to just put the straps through the holes and then cross them over like this. That works a little bit better for us. Okay, then I stand the pump up and kind of set the formula bag up so that nothing's getting kinked in the bottom. Then you take this little cartridge and pull it through the back right here. Put it around the wheel and snap it into place. Make sure the elastic's out of the way, and then close the pump. Okay, now that the pump is closed, the last part is to coil up the tubing. So when I send her to school, I like to have it coiled up and secured inside with this Velcro strap. So I just coil it up, and then put the strap around it. And then there's the buttonhole down here, so I'll put the tip through the buttonhole. And then what I usually do is I connect it to the extension tube, and then in order to keep the tubing from sliding out more during the day, I'll pull it back through with the extension tube connected, and that holds it inside the backpack a little bit better. And then, so once that's all done, you just zip it shut and you're ready to go. And that's all there is to it. Now I'm going to demonstrate how to refill a pump bag without having to take the tubing out of the pump and reprime the whole tubing. So I don't usually even take it off of the Velcro strap unless it's being worn by a really squirmy toddler. Then it is easier to take it off. So you open the bag, and again you're going to want to separate the front and the back of the bag from each other so that the back of the bag isn't covering up the bottom of the spout, or else the formula will spill. So the bag is open, you fill it up with your formula. Okay, then with one hand kind of on each side of the bag, you're going to start from the corners and work all the little air bubbles into the spout. Once you've got all the air out, then you want to squeeze it until the formula is about 1 centimeter down from the top of the pump bag. Then you get your cap on, and if you can't get it to go on right at first, just kind of turn it backwards and that'll get it even, and then it'll set down into those little grooves like it's supposed to. And you just twist it on until it's tight. Check the gap down here again to make sure it's even all the way around. And if it's not, and any of these little tabs are sticking up higher than they should, then you just push it down with your thumb until it pops into place. And then you're set to go.